Okay.
I was Chairman Kline, House Workforce Committee Chairman. Wanted to talk to Chairman Kline today about the National Labor Relations Board and some of the outrageous things that they've been doing, both with Boeing, but with other things. Chairman Kline, can you talk to me a little bit about the National Labor Relations Board?
Yeah, let me put it in a larger context if I could. What we're seeing, particularly in the last year, is that the current administration, the Obama administration, has come to the realization that they cannot move their agenda. They cannot move their big labor agenda through statute. They can't get it through Congress. Under Speaker Boehner and Leader Cantor and Chairman Kline, we're not going to move a card check bill, for example. And so they've looked across the range of business and decided that they need to move their agenda through regulations. So the first thing I would say is there's a blizzard of regulations out there in every industry. They're coming from the Department of Labor, Department of Education, Department of Transportation, EPA, all over the place. One of those places where you're getting not so much new regulation as new interpretation is coming from the National Labor Relations Board. They have passed a number ruled on a number of cases that are very, very detrimental. One of them, for example, would allow a union to take a big thing like an inflatable rat as big and as high as the ceiling and put it in front of a non-union shop that is only secondarily involved. Perhaps that business is providing parts to another business that's not union, and so the National Labor Relations Board has permitted the bringing of a big inflatable rat and putting it in front of a business. And of course the most famous, and I would argue the most egregious, and the one that has gotten people so angry and excited, is the Acting General Counsel, Leif Solomon of the National Labor Relations Board, which is a partisan body, let's face it. It's got 3 Democrats and 1 Republican. There's a vacancy. That would be the Republican vacancy that they're in no hurry to fill. The NLRB, that General Counsel, ruled that Boeing, who has already spent $1 billion to build a new plant to build their new Dreamliner aircraft and hired over 1,000 people in South Carolina, cannot do that. We've got to shut that down. Why? Because the NLRB, Counsel Solomon, believes that Boeing has to build a new plant in the state of Washington where they've got union employees and not in South Carolina, which is a right-to-work state, and it's not union. This is outrageous. Every American, I believe, certainly the vast majority of Americans, will look at that and say, that's outrageous. That's not our America, where one bureaucrat in this case, or a panel of, in a 3-to-1 vote, would say to any company, whether it's Boeing or a small business, you can't move where you want to do because it doesn't support a big labor agenda. So we are working, we're pushing back against that, we're having hearings. Today, Friday, the Government Affairs Committee is having a hearing in Charleston, South Carolina by the Boeing plant where they're bringing people in to explain how the NLRB reached this decision.
Tell me, sir, Chief of Staff Casey was before the National Association of Manufacturers earlier this week. He was asked about various regulations, including regulations dealing with the EPA and the like, and how those were killing jobs. He basically wasn't able to answer as to what they were going to do or how they were going to rein that in. Do you see the government overreach in terms of the EPA and other regulatory bodies as contributing to job loss in America?
It's fundamental to the job loss. I mentioned just a minute ago the blizzard of regulations. Those regulations in industry after industry are clearly job-killing regulations. They make it harder for small businesses or large businesses to grow and prosper and to take a risk to hire more employees. Those regulations, or in many cases, they're pending regulations. The employers know they're hanging out there. That is job killing, and it's in almost every segment of our economy. It is awful.
Very good. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, but thanks for being here.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.